What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson here, Sports Arena at the end of the night. And we just got some breaking news that David Culley, the assistant head coach and wide receiver coach for the Baltimore Ravens, is about to sign as the new head coach of the Houston Texans. So I had to get Alex Fleming in here, fresh in his championship hat gear. Good evening, sir.
Oh, I feel great. Tampa Bay's going to the Super Bowl. Avery, I'm looking for you.
So, we had to get someone who is a familiar face to the city of Houston, and who better than our man from the carousel who was kind enough to join us tonight. Htown Wheelhouse is in the building. Good evening, sir. Welcome back. How you been?
Well, been doing good, doing good. We're getting ready for some Major League Baseball. We've been trying to, during this time of year for us as Texans fans, and this year, football is kind of a sore subject. I mean, we got Deshaun Watson being trying to control everything, and he wants the certain quarterback, and the Texans are just being led by, I don't know, maybe a bunch of ducks they found in a pond the other day, and they just don't have a lot of leadership. And so for us to be thinking about football, I do want to say congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Please don't give this man any
I'm
more hype.
just saying, hey, let them have their 1 year. I mean, let them have every 10 years they go to the Super Bowl, right, and win one. But hey, why not take advantage? I mean, heck, you had Deshaun Watson who had a career year and they were 4-11. And if that doesn't speak of an organization that is broken, I don't know what does.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Htown Wheelhouse, because you and I, we speak candidly and, we speak freely.
Mhm.
We're not necessarily on the opposite side of the fence. We see things quite clearly and on the same path. David Culley, you inform me Vanderbilt, first black quarterback that Vanderbilt ever had. Do you believe he's more qualified than Leslie Frazier or Eric Bieniemy?
I don't I don't know. I mean, I look at his path. He comes from the Andy Reid coaching tree. Andy Reid apparently several years ago spoke highly of him. I think when he started there in Baltimore. I mean, hey, he's coached Lamar Jackson, but is he more qualified? I don't know. I think Eric Bieniemy was everybody that I've heard talk to or talk about that I've talked to. Eric Bieniemy has been the guy that everybody in Houston wants. I mean, that was the guy. It something about Houston leadership in our sports teams where the owners just kind of do things and then they want to retract everything they do. Like the cart gets before the horse, and that's what happened with Cal McNair. And I mean, look, it's tough. He lost his father, and I mean that's never easy. And then you're thrown into this, and sometimes owners aren't sports people, and that can be a big problem. And I hope they got it right, but I think Eric Bieniemy, if he's willing to come here in the mess that you have, you take advantage of that. You give him a shot. I mean, you see what he's done there. Yes, they have the weapons. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Tyreek Hill. They've got an amazing offense. But you still have to call the plays. You still have to plan and scheme and adjust. And you still have to go out and play football, right? There's still a coach calling plays. It's not Peyton Manning at the end of his career calling audibles and doing all that stuff. It's a young Patrick Mahomes doing great things. But I think they missed on this one. But if they're going to sign him, I hope he does well. I mean, from what Andy Reid said, just from what I read real quickly, because I don't know a ton about the guy. I mean, he's one of your three guys. I would rather it be him than Leslie Frazier. I'd rather it be him than Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell's been out of the game, but I really thought Bieniemy was going to be the guy. I'm actually shocked that they announced this tonight.
And listen, Bieniemy was the top prospect for a lot of teams. And the fact that he is actually going to be on his way down here to Tampa alongside Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs to play in the Super Bowl, I think is a lot that says a lot about, who he is and the makeup that he has with whatever team he has the opportunity to go to. I don't think that's going to happen for next year because the Houston Texans, from my understanding, were the last team to acquire a head coach. And now that has been done by Mr. Culley, Okay, well, now all head coaches are spoken for. I think the biggest piece for me is, I think you hit the nail on the head, Htown, was the fact that he was a guy that no one saw. He was a dark horse, if you will. Now, I'm happy, and I have to credit Mr. Fleming on this one. I'm happy that, in fact, he was another African-American coach who was given the opportunity to be a head coach. And so for me, I'm looking at this and saying, okay, maybe he is, because of his relationship with Lamar Jackson and because him and Deshaun Watson had met previously at the Pro Bowl, maybe there is a connection. Houston has always been a team that I have been a fan of. I just want this team to grow and not be on the wrong side of, the teams in the past who have had these losing records but have such top-tier talent.
Yeah, it's, I was actually talking about, it's funny, this comes up. I've got one or two kids in my class. Y'all know that I teach seventh graders. And a lot of the sports guys like to talk sports with me because I know I do a podcast. And, when they find that out, they're like, oh my God, you have a podcast? They think I'm famous, which I'm not. But they were talking about, they were like, have the Texans ever been close to a Super Bowl? And I said, well, back in 2011, before Haynesworth sat on Matt Schaub's knee. That was, I believe it was 2011. That was the year that the Texans had a shot. Remember, Matt Leinart had to come in after that and take over, and he didn't do anything. And we've had one season where we legitimately had a shot at the Super Bowl. And as a Texans fan, since their inception, having to put up with Cowboy fan while I was in college, who constantly ribbed me, hey, how's your team doing? Oh, that's right, you don't have a team. They moved to Tennessee. Like I strongly dislike the Cowboys because of that era in my life. And I want the Texans to do good. I mean, we have seen Andre Johnson go. We have seen J.J. Watt, he's probably going to leave. Arian Foster, they beat him the hell up way too much. I mean, that's why he retired so quick, because his body was so beat up. And now he's doing yoga and still making millions because he's a genius. But it's just, you hate to see it because Deshaun Watson was our guy. Deshaun Watson was the light on the hill. He was the light at the end of the tunnel. He was like, we're going to get there. And he's got Hopkins, and it's like we got this Clemson connection, and then it's
I believe we lost Deshaun Watson the second DeAndre Hopkins was traded. When you gave away DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of cookies and a beat-down running back, you basically lost the trust of Deshaun Watson. And for everyone listening, Aaron Rodgers is the face of that franchise. Carson Wentz was the face of that franchise. Imagine doing something without Patrick Mahomes knowing about it. This is the level of disrespect that they've shown Deshaun Watson. If you give this man franchise contract money, shouldn't he have some type of say, or at least have acknowledgement of some of the moves that the team makes?
Oh yeah, definitely. And that goes back to one of my first points, is that, Houston's ownership, I just think has fumbled it. I think Jack Easterby, I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but there's just not anything that I've heard great about him. Nick Casario, I don't even know if this guy has even has a chance. I mean, even if Nick Casario has things that are good to offer, he's not even getting to show those, because everything points back to, like, Cal, what are you doing? Why, like, a lot of people are saying, why don't you just sell the franchise? Like, you'll make out like a bandit. You'll make a ton of money. You'll be comfortable the rest of your life. Find an owner to come to Houston and take pride in the ownership. And I mean, you can go through the various clubs that have had success over the years, and you can look at, because the ownership has put the right people in. And like anything, guys, it starts at the top, and it's all about leadership. And when Deshaun Watson said, everybody's trying to be a leader in here, and nobody is. Everybody's trying to have a say, but we've got no direction. When your quarterback doesn't even know what direction you're going, man, that shit's just being driven by absolutely no one.
Yeah. Htown Wheelhouse, I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to join us here on the Sports Arena and discuss this. Man, I hope for the best when it comes to Deshaun Watson, and I hope for the best when it comes to the Houston Texans organization. As always, we're going to see what happens. Time will tell. But David Culley is about to be the new head coach of your Houston Texans. Let's see what happens. Htown Wheelhouse in the building alongside my brother Alex Fleming. Everyone have a great night. Appreciate the time. Talk to y'all soon.